4 things that will actually make you a pro at letting go. Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I want to talk about 4 things that will absolutely help you if you are on your journey of manifesting something and you are stuck on the end part of it where you aren't able to let go, right? So in here, I will be sharing 4 of these tips that have worked absolutely great for me and my clients. So these are tips that will help you if you apply them properly. Now, the key with this is 2 things. The first thing that is the key is to make sure that as you are applying these tips, that you're applying them consistently. This is not just instantly going to get better. If you are someone who has had trouble letting go, then this will be something that will take time. That's one. Second thing that you should keep in mind is letting go doesn't mean that you have to let go of your desire. It just means that you're letting go of the how, the when, the mental struggle. The reason letting go works so well is because when you are letting go, you are actually in the state of receiving. You're not in the state of trying to get it. So instead of doing things to try to get something, doing things to make something happen, which is just going to create more desperate and needy energy or state or identity, whatever you want to call it, you are in the state where you have understood that you don't actually need to do anything in the external. Neither do your techniques have to be ways to push things forward towards your direction. There will be things that you do to make yourself aligned with the version of yourself who you want to be, and that allows things to come in, right? So metaphysically, which means that things that cannot be seen, in that direction, you have already seen this in your life. So there are many situations in your life where you must have seen that the more you detach from it, the more it happens. You must have seen that when you stopped looking for that person, maybe when you were younger, they started to come back, or when you forgot about this one thing, you just started suddenly seeing it again. These are actually things that happen fast because you let go of them unconsciously. So we have already done it unconsciously. Now we are trying to replicate the results consciously. So let's get into it step by step. The first tip that will actually help you a lot is accepting yourself as whole the way that you are. Now there are 2 aspects here, and I will explain both these aspects. So when it comes to love, you are worthy of love as you are, right? Now, there are some limitations that you have, some conditions that you have developed, some actions that you do that make you forget that. So, for example, you are someone who has a habit of getting very super attached to people very, very early, or you have a habit of settling for breadcrumbs, or you have a habit of accepting behavior that you wouldn't accept. These are the things that is actually keeping something away from you that was meant to come to you in the first place. So love, if you in your natural state, will come to you automatically. You must have seen a lot of times that when you started to be, yourself and you were focusing on yourself, maybe this is the first time, for example, your SP came to you. They did come to you. They were attracted to you before, right? As they started to come to you, now you start, as the process starts to change and as we get closer and closer to a real intimate relationship, or maybe our insecurities from the past come out, we start to become a shell of who we were, and we start to become a different individual. And as we are becoming that version of ourselves, we end up getting these things which aren't really helpful, and we end up becoming a person who isn't able to get the success that we are looking for, right? And we end up losing it. So staying that version of you, who you truly were before these conditions actually wrapped themselves around you, is the way to get these results fast. Now, when it comes to the money part, or when it comes to a position, it's not that you are not worthy as you are. You sometimes have to put in work to become qualified enough for that thing. An example of this would be, let's say a doctor. I go to a clinic and I ask the doctor, like, how are you a doctor? Like, what have you done? And he says, oh, I felt like I'm a doctor. I imagined that and this person made me. No, they were worthy of becoming a doctor even when they weren't qualified. Then they put in the work to become that person. So they spend time learning those tools that make them that doctor, just like an athlete does, just like any person does, just like a coach does, just like a therapist does. Any person or any version of you that you want to become, you will first spend time acquiring the skills that that person will have, and then you will become eligible for it. But that doesn't mean that you weren't worthy of getting success, of getting love, or getting money to begin with. So accepting that you're whole as it is allows a lot of need, desperation, hunger for that thing to go away, because a lot of times when we are going after something, we are coming at it from this perspective that this thing will make me whole. So if this person comes, if this job comes, this will make me whole. But unfortunately, no job, no person can make you whole because you already are, right? Accepting that and at least telling yourself that or becoming aware of that will help you let go a lot. Second thing that will help you let go of this is understanding that my manifestation won't solve the issue. I will give you an example. Now, this is something that recently happened, so I will explain this to you. So, a few days back, I was doing a Q&A session on my Instagram, and someone posted this question that I just recently broke up with this girl of a few weeks back, and that relationship at the end was not going how I wanted, right? And I just right now want to ask you, like, should I just instantly get into manifesting her? Or should I just try to get this relationship back? Or should I just take some time for myself? This is actually a very beautiful question. At that time, because I knew this person a little bit, I gave him this advice that you should first separate yourself and see how and why you want this back. The thing is, a lot of times, let's say a relationship ends, or let's say we didn't get the job that we want. In that moment, there is a flurry of emotions, right? And we have these emotions which come up. They are making us feel abandoned, rejected, lost, anxious. And in that moment, we feel that just getting back to that same thing, or maybe getting that relationship back instantly, or maybe this person coming up, or you can generally just be feeling anxiety in your life. And you feel that this person coming up will solve that issue for me. Unfortunately, that would just be a band-aid. That wouldn't actually solve your issue. It's like you have a wound and you, like a big wound, and you just put a band-aid on it. It wouldn't really solve it. It will just mask it. Those issues will come back instantly. One of my clients went through this. She went through a breakup, and she's the one who broke up because she realized that I did not want this relationship, right? As she worked on herself, she realized that I do not want it. And as soon as she broke up, a few days later, she just instantly got back with this person. And I asked her what happened. And a day later, she said that, you know what? I just got back because I was feeling very anxious and I thought that getting back will solve everything. But it didn't. Because I know that this right now, I need to work on myself and we need to first fix this relationship pattern. So this is not going to be your situation. And this was just to help you understand these examples because they are very clear examples, right? So anyone can understand these. That's the point of looking at this. But what's important to see is manifestations or the things that you're trying to get won't solve your mental issues. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't go after them. But hoping that this manifestation will solve my internal abandonment issues or will make me less anxious, it's not going to do it. And the reason that we think that way is because we feel that this will be an easy way out, but it also puts our manifestation on a huge pedestal. So now it's not just getting your ex back, it's more about if this person comes back, my anxiety will be solved. So you see, of course, I'm going to get more attached to the idea of it. Of course, I'm going to get more obsessed with it because I just put something that wasn't the responsibility of that thing to fulfill on this. So of course, it gets something deeper. Avoiding that and focusing on your issues by yourself and telling yourself that my manifestation is outside of this is going to be super crucial. The third one, stop escaping your current life. Oh, this is a huge one. A lot of times we are manifesting something because we don't like how our life is right now. And that is absolutely fine. That is the reason that you would want to change things because you don't like them how they are right now, right? Let's say you are a single individual and you think that getting a relationship will make me happier. Absolutely great. Go for it. But while you are manifesting that, you are still a single individual, right? You might be living in the end in your mind, but a lot of times what happens, because we just don't want to deal with what is happening right now, or we don't want to accept the reality of the current moment, we start to run away from it. And then our imaginary scenes and our visual scenes and our affirmations become an escape from our current life. I had this conversation with one of my clients very recently. She was single and she was getting to an age where she had to get married and her parents were forcing her, right? So she went to meet one of her relatives and she would just avoid any conversations in this regard at all. Why? Because every time they would say, oh, you are single, she would just say, oh no, I'm not single. Because if I was single, then I would have to freak out. I wouldn't know what to do. Being single is the worst. That is not allowing her manifestation to come at all. That's just making her run away from the current situation, which is not actually making her live in the end. It's just making her more desperate to get it. So it's not creating the living in the end powerful feeling. It's just a way for us to get more hungry for the manifestation. So allowing yourself to accept your current life will actually help you let go of the need and attachment for the manifestation. And the last one, the faster you can understand that the how is not your job, the faster you would be able to let go. There is a relationship that you have between you and your subconscious, right? There is a task that you have to do. There is a task your subconscious has to do. Your subconscious is smarter than you. That's an absolute given, right? Because when we say you don't know the how, at least someone does. And that someone is what we call subconscious, God, universe, source, whatever. When we are constantly trying to overanalyze the how, what we are basically doing is we are basically saying that I am smarter than the universe itself, right? Which comes across as us trying to control it, and the how never gets done because we aren't able to let the universe take over or our subconscious take over, because of which we get into this constant flux of trying to fix things which are right now not going to be fixed from this capacity because we are constantly coming from desperation. So allowing yourself to detach from that by doing your task, which is to focus on detaching, doing all these things, and then letting the universe take the reins and do its job, it's going to actually bring the manifestations to you closer, and you would be able to let go of the how very, very easily. So I hope these tips helps. I apologize for my voice. I still have a sore throat, but I had to record this for you. I will see you guys in the next video. That will be a success story, and hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.